What is up, guys, and welcome back to our tutorial series where we create a form with PHP. In the last episode, we learned about submitting data from an HTML form like this one and like this one into a PHP page where we could get the data, process it, and then do whatever we want, like echoing it out on the screen. And of course, we learned that if we actually went to this page, so we went to localhost/form. And then we just went to there. Get rid of here. So if we went to this page, and of course we submitted this, we click this, it would take us to this page where the data is then submitted and echoed out, which was pretty cool. However, an issue with this is if we refresh our page, boom, you see it, no data display. And that is, of course, we want it, we have it to work just like that. That's how we've set it up. But that can be a major inconvenience if you're running a big site, like, I'll give you an example, like Twitter. So in Twitter, of course, when we get here, you can see that I'm already logged in. And, of course, I stay logged in because, or like whenever I go to these pages, I stay logged in because I have a session with Twitter. And I'll talk to you guys about sessions in a second. But no matter where I go on this page, I'm still signed in unless I go over to, this top part. And I click on the logout button, and then I'm no longer signed out. I'm signed in. So that's how session works in a sense. And now I'm going to talk to you guys. You're probably wondering, well, what the heck is a session? Like, that just sounds like a big fancy word, and I don't know what it does. Well, whenever your browser and your computer connect to a web server, like WAMP server, we create what's called a session. And a session is just the connection between that's your browser and the server. And whenever we're sending our form request data through here, we're of course submitting data to the form, so from the form, and it goes to the server. That's sort of going through our session here. Now we can actually use this session. We can store variables in it, and we can store data in it and access it. So that way, until the user closes the session or closes their browser or disconnects from the website and clicks the logout button or something, or turns off their computer, until that happens, we're going to store a bunch of data. And to do that, I'm going to show you how. So as we learned in the last tutorial, things like get and post are special kinds of associative arrays that we can use in PHP. And to access them, you use a $sign and an underscore and then their name. So session, and now we have to give it, of course, our name of, what we call it, session. We just put anything in here. We have to put a new key in here because we want to create a new key for our session to something. We want to store something in there. So we'll just put in username, and then we'll set that equal to, and now we'll set it equal to post and name. And now this post name comes from whenever the user clicks this submit button. It submits the data to this page, which processes it, and as you can see down here, we're of course echoing out post our post name, and we're setting our session username, so a username that's stored in our connection. We're setting that equal to whatever the user puts in that box where it says name, and now we're going to actually use it. So let's just go ahead and echo out, echo $_session, and now whatever we put in the box earlier is what we put here. So username. Is that? Yeah, there we go. So now if we load this here, and we just, we're going to go back here and push our submit button. Boom, submit that, and you can see, we should probably put something in here before we echo it out. Quote, and then quote, and now get rid of these here because that'll mess you up. So there we go. We'll say hello, or we'll say, actually just more fitting, welcome back, and then whatever they put in here. And also, I put this we made earlier inside of paragraph tags, like just surround it with paragraph tags, because if we don't, we'll get everything on the same line. So that's sort of a critical thing to do here. So if we save this and we refresh, you can just see, we got a big fat error, and that is because PHP does not know that we're trying to use session without this form request. And to use session in PHP, before you do anything on the page at all, not even echoing HTML or putting any HTML on the page, you have to call a method or a function. And this function is called session_start. So go ahead and put a PHP tag at the very beginning of your code before any HTML or anything, and I'm just going to do it all on one line. And now you have to call this method. You have to do session_start. And now just do parentheses, and then put a semicolon. You have to do that, or you'll get big fat errors. So go ahead and save that, and if we refresh here, we're still getting an error because we didn't set anything into the session. So of course, refresh all your pages, so that way you get them fresh and nice. And now just go ahead and submit that data, and we get hello, or welcome back, Nicholas Coca-Cola. And now if we refresh the page, it should still stay there. Yep, no data to display, welcome back, Nicholas Coca-Cola, because we are using session, which is fantastic because now whenever we refresh the page, the data doesn't go anywhere. But if we close the browser, I think this closes the session. We may have to actually hard close it. But if we do that and we go to localhost /form/test.php. Okay, no, that does not close the session. If you went down here though, and you right-clicked on Chrome and went exit, then it would probably destroy the session. Or if you did, if you turned off your computer and turned it back on, the session would probably be destroyed because we are not using any sort of cookies or anything, and nothing else. So that's how this sort of session works. And now let's just test it out. We can't really use it on this page because this is an HTML page. We could turn it into a PHP and do that, but I don't really feel like that. So we're just going to create a new page right here. So if you just right click and go new file and just push Control S, and now we want to save it as chicken.php because I'm pretty hungry. I want some chicken. And now we're going to actually start using our session. And you guys have to remember this key critical element, session.session_start. If you don't call session start, you'll get errors on the page, and the page won't be able to use session. So do session_start. And we don't need anything in there. And of course your semicolon. And now let's just echo out. Echo $_session. Session, all caps, of course. And we'll say, what do we call it? Username. Username. There we go. And now if we save this, and we go to, what did I call it? Chicken. CHICKN. Boom. Chicken.php. And we get our Nicholas Coca-Cola. And now that is a good thing. However, what if I close my session by fully exiting Chrome? And now we go back to our site, which was of course localhost what is it? Yep, test.php, and we go back here. Oh my gosh, errors. And the reason why we get these is because we haven't actually set up the session yet. So if you don't set up the session, you're going to get errors because we haven't actually told it what's happening because this is a brand new sort of instance of our connection to the web server. So we need to check to make sure that the user is actually signed in first, or the user actually has connection to the session first before we start echoing any data. And to do that, what we need to do is we need to say if is set, and now inside of here, you have to have those parentheses right or you're going to get errors. So if is set $_session, and then we do username, so we call that, then we want to do this code. Otherwise, there we go. So if we're not otherwise, or else, we want to say, you want to do Ds and Ps. /p you're not, don't do that. Oh, quotation fail. There we go. Sorry about that. You're not signed in. There we go. So that'll happen if they're, so this checks to make sure they're signed in. In fact, we could even make a variable that is set to that, if we wanted to. So we could say $signed, or we'll say logged, and we'll say, or we'll just, even easier, if in equals, and we can just say I set, and then $_session, and then username. And now, if we can delete this, and we can just say if, no, stab. There we go. If in, so we're checking to see if in is true, and if in is true, then it'll let us in, or if not, then that'll happen. And we need to do the exact same thing here, and we can say $in equals I set $_session, username, and then we could say if in. And now a cool thing with PHP is you don't have to put your code blocks if you're only doing a one-line thing. So we don't even need these. We can just say if in, and we can put that there. So we don't even need to use our squiggly brackets if you're only doing one line of code. If you're doing multiple lines, you have to use your squigglies. But that's pretty much how that works. So that is pretty cool. What is this? What are these coming from? I don't know. There we go. So now let's just test to see if this works. So we can refresh here. Double errors. Let me just go back here. And we'll see. Oh, I didn't save these, did I? Save. And now if we refresh the page, it shouldn't. Oh, wait a minute. Did I? Yeah, okay, I did do session.start. Now let's just see if this fixes. Yeah, there we go. You're not signed in. And now if we just go to chicken, there we go, chicken.php. And we run this use of undefined constant in, oh, I forgot the $signs. You can't forget the $signs. That's important. $sign in. Save that. And now we refresh. Boom. We are not signed in, so absolutely nothing happens. So let's just go ahead and sign in, though, by... This isn't really signing in. This is sort of just submitting oh, we got it. Localhost / form. We don't need the test.php. Boom. There we go. Dank forms. And now we just submit. And boom. Welcome back, Nicholas Coca-Cola. And now we can go to our chicken.php. And boom. So that is going to be our tutorial on sessions. I hope you have learned a ton. If you haven't, slap a dislike on it. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. If you actually have learned a lot, though, go ahead and subscribe, and you can keep up with the tutorial series. Watch some more videos, like the video, and follow me on Twitter. If you guys... I just already said that. Anyway, till next time, I'll see you scrubs later.